Hi you guys, another Gina Choi creation. She gave me this. Man, I'm blessed. She gave me this, but I put it together. I hope it's to her approval. Anyway, so today I'm going to tell you about how a wish of mine came true. Not a prayer, but a wish. And that is that back in Colombia, because remember I went to Puerto Rico, now I'm remembering, not going back, but remembering back in Colombia. One day, it was our day off, and so we were, a bunch of us girls were in the girls' room, and there was this board game called The Ungame. It's fun. If ever you get a chance to play it or send away for it on eBay or Amazon or whatever. But anyway, it is just an icebreaker. That's all it is. It's that people, you go around the board and different questions are asked. So, my question that came to me was, what do you want your spouse to be like? So, I just shot off from my mind. I said, I want him to, of course, love God more than anything. I want him to be able to make me laugh, which he does. Okay, I want him to be a good communicator. And I want him to be able to take care of my money, because I can't stand taking care of money, paying bills, doing taxes, all that kind of stuff. And I want him to be like Ricky Ricardo. Well, soon you're gonna find out. My last name is Alvarez because I married a Cuban. And so soon I am going to tell the story of how we met and everything. But today, I'm just gonna tell, look, I'm gonna look back and see how God prepared me for marriage. And that is, remember, if you remember when I first started my story, I was more messed up than you can imagine. Remember, I was totally bulimic, morning, noon, and night. I was a narcissist like you've never even imagined. You know, I never lifted a finger in my home. I had my mom as my slave, which I regret, of course. She's the most wonderful person. And I was filled with anger, and that didn't get taken care of for a while, but, and so what happened? When I was only 8 months old, being a Christian, so I had only been, receiving his love for 8 months, he opened the door for me, if you remember back, to go to England. And in England, in YWAM, Youth with a Mission in England, we had work duties, right? And my work duties were cleaning. And I got assigned every single kind of cleaning assignment you can imagine. And I had never, ever lifted a finger to do any kind of cleaning, but 4 years over in England, I learned how to clean. Then I went to Colombia. And in Colombia, I just remembered a funny thing I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I was in the, preschool, and I learned how to change diapers. The funny thing I remembered, I honestly had really never changed a diaper. As I was growing up, this is how bad I was. When I was 12 years old, from the time I was 12, I had babysitting jobs. Little girl that lived across the street, right? And so the first time I had to change a dirty diaper, my sister was 6 years younger than me, is 6 years younger than me. So when I was 12, she was 6. Guess what? So first time I had to change a dirty diaper, I called her and told her to come over, and poor thing, I held the baby over the toilet bowl, and I had my sister wipe her down. That's what a good babysitter I was, right? Then another time the little girl was over at our house and swimming, and she did something in her pants, and I took her out to the back and I hosed her off. I mean, I was bad, right? The parents never knew this. And watch out for babysitters. You don't even know what they're up to. I seemed like the nicest kid, right, to them, but ooh. Okay, so anyway, in Colombia, I learned how to change diapers for real this time. And then when I went to Puerto Rico, right after I got there, the cook, it was a very small base, just a handful of people on that base. But the cook decided to leave there and go back to the United States. And so I took the opportunity and I said, if you, to the leader, because it was a small base, I said, if you teach me how to cook, I'll be your cook. And so before you know it, I was baking bread and everything and learning how to cook Puerto Rican style. So I learned about sazon and adobo and all those kind of things, which little did I know was preparing me for my Cuban husband. Although, poor thing, my family doesn't, I never cook for him. That's another story. But anyway, so look at how God prepared me for marriage. Isn't that amazing? So next video, I'm gonna tell how I met my husband. Okay, dream big and go for it.